All right, good afternoon, everybody. So, what I have here are two forms that I made up for one of these scout sheaths that I'm making. Actually, I'm making several scout sheaths. This one right here is the small one that goes on the bottom of the scout sheath for the ferro rod. It's only about 1 inch wide, not very big. And as you can see, the form goes a little bit bigger than that to squeeze down over the top of that. This one here, I've already done that. And what you need to do is, of course, soak the leather. All right, so this piece has already been soaked for quite a while, and I've put it down over the top of this form. And I've used this wooden, well, just a tool that I use to, as you can see, I've used quite a bit to try to get that crease right at the joint there as tight as I possibly can before I put the form on it. Okay, that's this piece on this one, much bigger. So it takes a little bit of doing. I like to work that down as close as I can before I actually put the form on there, because it's really stretching that leather when you do that. And of course you got to put the clamps on now. So I stretched that out. A lot of times you'll have a gap right there, so you keep on pushing that down. Gets pretty close to where you want it. Now put that on, and it's tight. You can get it down there. Use your hammer. All right, now take the clamps and work your way around. Now I like to work from the bottom first here, because that transition part at the joint is the worst part right there. Trying to get that around there just nice and even and smooth doesn't come easy. So do a little bit on both sides, just to make it just like tightening up a wheel on a car. You don't lug nuts. You don't tighten them all up at one time. You do a little bit on each one, and this way it evens itself off. Now once these are all tightened down, I'll set it by the wood stove here overnight, and it'll dry by the morning, and everything will be ready to attach to the main body of the sheath. And like I said, I got quite a few of these to make, quite a few different sizes too. This is the bigger ones. And I'll have more videos of this as I go here, but you can never have too many clamps. Nope. Get on there. And that's like I showed there. I'm using plywood for that pressure piece. Now, if I used a piece of hardwood, in all likelihood, and I'm quite certain of it, that it would snap right here, somewhere in that area. So plywood is the way to go when you're making a form like that. It can take the bending and all the twisting, and not that it can't break, but it's not going to break anywhere near as easily as a piece of wood will. I'll get that one on there. And another one over here. And we'll start tightening up the whole thing all the way around. See, this one's already starting to come loose here. A little bit more. A little bit more on that one. And we'll hammer it down a little bit. And it should be ready to go. The tiny one will be the same way. I just wanted to show the big one here, a little easier to see it. This is not rocket science by any means, but the most important part about doing it, see, that's all nice and even all the way around, just a little bit of a ripple right there. Most important part is making sure that leather is wet enough to form. Now I have a little bit of a slack right there, but that once it dries, it'll tighten up. And then of course the flap will go right over the top of it. So I'll show that in the next video. But anyway, that's it. I'll do that one later. And we're all ready to go by the wood stove. Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll catch everybody in the next one. Thanks again.